We're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start modeling. So we're gonna start modeling with just using primitives. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to the front view. Now we're in the front view. We're gonna go ahead and try to match. So remember, you can zoom in and zoom out using your scroll button. You can also use your option key on the keyboard and zoom in and zoom out with the right mouse. Middle mouse to pan, up, down, left, and right. And left mouse, you can't do anything because it's not a camera view. You can't tumble in this. So you can pan, zoom in, and zoom out. Yes?
How do you get to that view?
By middle mousing. Middle mouse.
Okay, I don't see the...
Okay, go under display. And then go under constant shading.
The other plan.
Sounds good? Any idea? Everybody up to the speed? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and create geometry. So let's go ahead and create a box. So I'm going to create the box, and I'm going to go ahead, guys in the back, please keep it down. So we're going to go ahead and take this box, and I'm going to go ahead and try to match the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scale this down. So remember, this is scale. So I'm going to go ahead and scale it right there in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it. So when I move right there, I'm going to try to make sure that I'm exactly where I want to be, this way and that way. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the move tool to kind of position it where I want. I think that will be another box. And you don't have to be too precise about it, but the idea is that I want you to know how to basically be able to model just using these basic primitives. So now that we have those, and I'm going to use that to position, and I'm going to use this to position as well. So now I have this box, and it looks good in that position right here. Now, I have to make sure that it matches the side. Because if you look here, the box is way big for the side. Look how big his chest is, right? So that's not the right way to have his chest. He's not going to be a really extruded, character. So I have to match the side. So just watch me, guys, as I do it. So you can see a few things that I'm going to do. Don't worry, you'll have enough time to actually create your own. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to X-ray mode. Why do we need to go to X-ray mode? So I can see my drawing. Because right now I can't see it, right? So I'm going to go under Display, X-ray. So I can see through my drawing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and scale it. So I can scale it back until I get the proper size. So I'm going to go back to my move tool to position it back. As you can see, the back is not exactly in the center, so I have to push it back a little bit. And then I'm going to move the scale tool to kind of scale it front. So now it fits the proper box. Okay. Any questions up to this point? Now, nobody has asked me, well, Mohammed, it looks very boxy. Like, how can I fillet it and how can I make it like kind of smooth? All these like little tricks you can do later. But I just wanted to show you how you'll be able to get your character in there. Any questions, Oba? What's your questions, Oba?
Well, I have display X-ray, and I can see that. Well, when you had it from the side view,
yeah,
all of your shapes, like that shape looks transparent.
Yes.
And
yours doesn't.
Though I also have it on X-ray, it's not. It doesn't have that transparent.
Okay, I'll come and see it in a sec, but don't worry. It could be a video card issue, or it could be a wrong parameter issue. Just make sure that your display is on constant shading, and then the other one down there is under X-ray.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, everyone, I want you to pay attention. So watch this. There's this really cool parameter. If I click on my object, if I click on my cube, watch what happens here. I get like a lot of parameters. There's something called fillet. Do you guys see it? It's robot fillet, not fish fillet or chicken fillet. But right there, fillet. It's French, so the T is silent. Okay? So fillet. We're going to go ahead. Watch what happens when I click on that. Boom. Now it's going to round it off, but it's going to actually give you a kind of like a big fillet. So it's going to round it off, but it's kind of a little bit too bulky. So you can actually control that parameter somewhere here, right? So,
should we fillet in the end?
watch, guys. Here we go. See the fillet radius. Do you guys see the fillet radius?
Yeah.
Right down here. So you have arrow up and arrow down. Way much easier than Maya. I'm not hired by Cinema 4D, but I like to mention that because I've been working 14 years with Maya. Okay, so you can see here that you can reduce or increase the fillet. If I increase it so much, it's going to be like a sphere. So I want to reduce it. Watch what happens. The edges become really, really cool. So now I get something a little bit less boxier, a little bit more rounded on the edges only, just like Oba wants. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue modeling the face, modeling the arms. And the arms, I can go ahead and get, you know, these round cylinders. Round cylinders, it's all about cylinders and geometry. So I can go ahead and get a cylinder right here. Right there on the cylinder. What do I have to do? I have to do what to get it to face correctly? I have to rotate it and make it smaller, but I want to round off, so I'm going to type in a value of 90, so it's exactly perpendicular to the object. I'm going to go ahead and move it using the move tool, and for some reason I've seemed to lost my X-ray mode, so I'm going to go back to X-ray, and it's not giving me my X-ray. Is that what it's doing to you, Oba?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go to display, constant, X-ray. I think it doesn't like too many objects.
Oh yeah, it's the thing you click on the X-rays.
Ah, interesting. Thank you, whoever said that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I want both of these X-ray. There we go. So you have to hold both. It's kind of annoying, but you got to select both. Now it's weird because I don't want both. So
You could just hide one from view.
yeah, I'm just gonna move it to the side.
Or you could just hit the check marks on the pocket.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So here's the body. I don't need the body anymore, guys. I don't need the body anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide it. So these parameters right here, where's the body? So that's plane, that's cube. So that cube, I'm going to go ahead and call it torso. And if you double click, you can actually name him. Remember, we have to name him. And right up here, you can actually turn them off or on. So you can actually display them or toggle them on and off as you go. So right now they're on. I'm going to click on them again up here on the top. What's the difference between the check mark and that top one?
The top one is for edit mode, the bottom one is for render,
Oh, okay.
and the check mark is for both.
So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that is off all the way. So I'm going to turn that off by just clicking on the check. So now I can select my cylinder. My cylinder will turn X-ray. So I can go ahead and scale it down. Okay. So now I'm going ahead and positioning my first arm. I'm coming.
Just wondering, how do you make that rectangle transparent so that I could make the cylinder?
Select the rectangle.
Select those.
And then there's a check mark up there where it says torso, right here.
Okay.
So turn that check mark to an X.
Okay, I see.
Thank you for asking.